Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Faith and today I'm gonna show you how to make this crop top, puff sleeve, fitted cuff, v-neck, sweater. I really love the design. It's simple to make and it's body hugging. It has a shape here which has a fitted waistline and a fitted bust line. So you're going to increase when you're working the sweater. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So if you're new here, my name is Faith and today we're going to be making this crop sweater top, and it has a puff sleeve with a fitted cuff, a V neckline with a picot stitch around it, and it's easy to make. It's beginner friendly. It uses three stitches, the single crochet stitch on the back loop only. It has the single crochet and the double crochet for the main body part, the V stitch which is a double crochet and a chain one, and the reversible single crochet which is optional. The size made in this video is a size small. If you want other sizes, I'll link it in the description box below for the free pattern where you can have all the sizes you want to make. Using your accent color and a 3.5mm crochet hook, you're going to make a slip knot. And then chain 11 because I'm working a size small. After chaining 11 stitches, you're going to turn your work, and then on row 1 you're going to work on these back bumps. Insert your hook and work a single crochet, then single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So at the end of your row 1 you should have 10 single crochet stitches. For row 2 just chain 1 and turn your work, single crochet in the first stitch, go inside both 2 loops at the top, work a single crochet, and then single crochet back loop only. So insert your hook only in the back loop and then work a single crochet, and repeat this until you have only 1 stitch remaining. So you can customize this depending on how long you want your hem ribbing to be, or the bottom ribbing. So when you have 1 stitch remaining, you're going to go through both the toe loops, front and the back loop, and then work your last single crochet. Chain 1, turn your work and repeat row 2. Single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet back loop only in the next 8 stitches. In your last stitch you're going to work single crochet through both loops, the front and the back loop. Chain 1 and turn your work. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat row 3 pattern until you have a total of 57 rows if you're working size small. If you're working an extra small you need to have 51 rows. If you're working a medium you're going to go up to 63 rows. And for other sizes, just check the free written pattern on our blog. So I went ahead and finished 57 rows of the bottom ribbing or the hem ribbing, And for the next step, I'm going to chain 1 and then turn on this longer side, the row part, single crochet in the first stitch at the end of the row, and single crochet in each stitch at the end of every row. So since we had 57 rows for this size, you're going to have 57 single crochets. So just place 1 single crochet at the end of every row, and when you reach the end, just chain 1 and cut your yarn. So after working your last single crochet on that last stitch, you're going to chain 1 and then cut your yarn. So what you're going to do, if you're working 2 colors, you're going to leave a longer tail for joining in this last part to the opposite side. So just leave a considerably longer tail and then pull through and fasten off your yarn. So for row 2, you're not going to turn your work. Grab your new color and then change your hook size. So I'm going to use a 4mm for this part. So on this first single crochet or first stitch, you're going to attach our yarn. So insert your hook and then yarn over, pull through and make a single crochet just to fasten that stitch, and then you're going to single crochet in the first stitch. On the next stitch, go and work a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and then single crochet in the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch. So you're going to alternate between a single crochet and a double crochet until the end of your row. And since we had 57 stitches, 57 is an odd number, and our first stitch was a single crochet, your last stitch now should be a single crochet, because 1 is an odd number and 57 is also an odd number. So they should have the same stitch on those rows. So go ahead, and when you're through, I'll meet you at the last stitch and when you're turning to row 2. So I went ahead and finished my row. I'm here on my second last stitch. Since my second last stitch is a double, the last stitch is going to be a single crochet. Then turn your work, chain 2. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so we're going to work 1 double crochet on the first stitch. Then single crochet the next stitch, double in the next, and single in the next. So what you're doing in this row 2 is you're placing double crochet on previous row single crochet stitches, and then you're placing single crochet on the previous rows double crochet stitches. So repeat that until the last stitch. And since we started with the double crochet, we're going to end with the double crochet. So I'll meet you on the last stitch of row 2. So I've completed my row 2 and I've ended with a double crochet stitch. So for row 3, I'm going to repeat row 1 pattern. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet the first stitch, and double crochet on the next stitch. So you're also alternating between a single crochet and a double crochet until the end of our row. So just repeat that and I'll meet you on row 4. Row 4 is now going to be our increase row. So just work your row 3 and I'll meet you when you're through with row 4. So I've ended with a single crochet on row 3, and row 4, just turn your work, then chain 2, and on this first stitch you're going to place 2 double crochets. So 1 and then 2. On the next stitch, just work a single crochet and then double on the next, and alternate between a single crochet and a double crochet until the last stitch. So place singles on previous row double crochets and double crochet on previous row single crochet, and I'll meet you on the last stitch. Since this is an increase row, we are working 2 double crochets on the first stitch and 2 double crochets on the last stitch. So after working your second last stitch, which is a single crochet, you're going to work 2 double crochets on that last stitch. So that's our first increase, and then in row 5 you're going to chain 1, turn your work and then chain 1. And since we have 2 double crochets at the start of our row, we're going to start with 2 single crochets. Just place single crochets on double crochet stitches and then double crochet on single crochet stitches. So after working 2 single crochets, you're going to double the next stitch and then single the next stitch, double the next stitch, single the next stitch. So alternate between these stitches until the end of your row. So since our last 2 stitches are double, we're going to place single crochets on the last 2 stitches. So this is what I'm saying. I'm here at my third last stitch, which is a double crochet, because the previous stitch here is a single, and the last 2 stitches you're going to work single crochet on each. And then turn your work, chain 2. This row 6 you're going to work double crochet in the first stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. So double the first and then double in the next. And since the next stitch is a double crochet, we're going to place a single crochet, double crochet in the next stitch, and alternate between a single and a double until the last 2 stitches. So since our first 2 stitches were double crochets, our last 2 stitches are also going to be double crochets. So just continue and I'll meet you on row 7. So row 7 actually will be a repeat of our row 5. So just work row 6 and then row 7, repeat row 5 pattern, and then I'll meet you on row 8, which is our next increase row. So I went ahead and finished my row 6 and row 7. So for row 8 we're going to turn our work and then chain 2. We're going to work 1 double crochet and then 1 single crochet in the same stitch. So our increase on row 8 is a double and a single, not 2 doubles, because the next stitch is a single, so you're going to place double crochet in the next stitch. And then single crochet next stitch, double crochet next stitch, and continue placing double crochets on single crochet stitches and single crochet on double crochet stitches until the second last stitch. So just continue with that pattern and I'll meet you on the last stitch. So I've reached my last stitch on row 8, and on this stitch you're going to start with a single crochet and then double crochet the same stitch. So for row 8 we started with a double and single on the first stitch, but you're going to end with a single and double on the last stitch, so that our last and our first stitch are double crochets. So row 9 we're going to chain 1 and then turn. So we're going to work a single crochet on the first stitch and a double on the next stitch. We are not going to increase any stitch on this row, so just alternate working a double crochet on a single crochet stitch and a single crochet on a double crochet stitch, until the end of your row. So at the end of row 9, you're going to turn your work and then chain 2. For row 10, double crochet the first stitch and single crochet the next stitch, double the next, and repeat that, working a single crochet on a double crochet stitch and a double crochet on a single crochet stitch until the end of your row. So row 11, we're going to repeat row 9 pattern, and then row 12, I'll meet you on row 12. I'll just show you what to do for the next rows, because we're going to be working repeat patterns. So I went ahead and finished my row 11, and as you can see, my top is widening as it goes up. So for row 12, we're going to repeat row 4, row 13, we're going to repeat row 5, row 14, we're going to repeat row 6, row 15, we're going to repeat row 7, row 16, we're going to repeat row 8, row 17, we're going to repeat row 9, row 18, we're going to repeat row 10, and row 19, we're going to repeat row 11. So just repeat the last 8 rows and I'll meet you on row 20. So I went ahead and worked my rows to row 19 from here, and to proceed we're going to make another increase on row 20. So row 20, we're going to repeat our row 4 pattern, chain 2, turn your work, and then place 2 double crochet in the first stitch, single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, and alternate between a single crochet and a double crochet until the end of the row. So when you reach the last stitch, you're going to work 2 double crochets in that last stitch. So just repeat your pattern, working single crochets on previous double crochet stitches and double crochet on previous single crochet stitches, and I'll meet you on the last stitch. So I've reached my last stitch here, and I'm going to place 2 double crochet in that stitch. So 1, 2, and then turn your work, and row 21 you're going to repeat our row 5 pattern, single crochet in the first stitch, single crochet the second stitch, then double crochet, single crochet next, double crochet next, and alternate that to the end of your row. So I'll meet you on the second last stitch. So I'm back again at the end of my row, remaining with only 2 stitches. Go ahead and work single crochet on those stitches, then chain 2 and turn. Row 22, we're going to work double crochet in the first stitch, double crochet on the second stitch, and then single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next stitch, and alternate between double crochet and a single crochet until you have 2 stitches remaining. So when you reach the last row, you're going to place double crochet on the last 2 stitches, and I'll meet you on row 23. So row 22 is done, and it marks the end of our body part from the underarm downwards. So what you're going to do, we're going to mark the first stitch and the last stitch on row 22 to help us in joining the side seams together, because the next row we're going to start shaping the armhole. So what you also want to note is from medium to extra large, you're going to increase the number of rows for our bodies. On row 23, what you're going to do, chain 1, and then you're going to work single crochet 2 together. So to do that, you're going to insert your hook on this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, insert your hook on the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all the 3 loops. Then double crochet the next stitch. The next stitch is a single crochet stitch, so you're going to double crochet in that stitch. Then single crochet the next, double crochet the next, single crochet the next, and repeat this pattern until you have 2 stitches remaining. So I went ahead and finished my row, and I'm here remaining with only 2 stitches. So what you're going to do, you're going to work all single crochet 2 together, then chain 2, turn your work. Row 24, you're going to work double crochet on the first stitch, and then the next 2 stitches you're going to work double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, insert your hook in that first stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go in the next single crochet stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 3 loops remaining, yarn over, pull through the 3 loops, and then single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, and alternate between a single crochet and a double crochet until you have 3 stitches remaining on this row. So I'll meet you at the last 3 stitches. So I've reached the end of my row, remaining with only 3 stitches. So I'll work double crochet 2 together, and then double crochet the last stitch, chain 1, turn your work. To row 25, we're going to repeat our row 23 pattern by single crochet 2 together, then double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next stitch, and alternate between a double crochet and a single crochet until you have 2 stitches remaining. And then at the end of your row, you're going to single crochet 2 together the last 2 stitches. So just work that row, and I'll meet you on row 26. So after working your last decrease on row 25, you're going to chain 2, turn your work, and row 26 we're going to repeat our row 24 pattern by double crochet the first stitch, then double crochet 2 together the next 2 stitches, then single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, and alternate between a single crochet and a double crochet until the end of your row, or until you have 3 stitches remaining. When you remain with 3 stitches, work 2 double crochet together or double crochet 2 together, and then double crochet the last stitch. So I'll meet you at the end of our row 26. So when you're through with your row 26, this is how your work should look like. So we increased towards the armhole, and then when we reach here, we started decreasing to shape our armhole. So row 27, we're going to turn our work. And then what you're going to do, you're going to mark the middle stitch. So at the end of row 26, you should have 59 stitches if you're working my size small. So mark the 30th stitch, because we'll have 29 this side and then 29 this side. So just count physically, and then on the 30th stitch you're going to place your marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on the next stitch, place your marker. Then go ahead and count the remaining stitches to ensure that you've not miscounted. So when you've confirmed your number of stitches and they're all the same, you're going to proceed to row 27. To do that, chain 1, and then you're going to work 2 single crochet together or single crochet 2 together, the first and the second stitch. Then double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, and then repeat this until you have 2 stitches remaining to your center marker. So when you reach here and remaining with only 2 stitches, you're going to work single crochet 2 together, Then turn our work. Don't work on this stitch with marker. Chain 2, turn your work, and on row 28 you're going to double crochet the first stitch, then double crochet 2 together the next 2 stitches. Single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next stitch, and alternate between a double crochet and a single crochet until you have 3 stitches remaining at the end of your row. So I've reached the end of my row and have 3 stitches remaining. So work double crochet 2 together, then double crochet the last stitch, chain 1, turn your work. So our row 29, you're going to start by single crochet 2 together. You're going to repeat row 27 pattern, then double crochet the next stitch, single crochet next, double crochet next, and repeat a double crochet and a single crochet until you have 2 stitches remaining at the end of the row. So when you have 2 stitches remaining, you're going to work 2 single crochet together or single crochet 2 together, then chain 2, turn your work, double crochet the first stitch, then double crochet 2 together, single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next stitch, and alternate between a single crochet and a double crochet until the end of your row. So on this row 30, you're not going to work any decrease here at the end. So when you reach the end, just work 1 double crochet in that last stitch, then turn your work. On row 31, you're going to chain 1, single crochet the first stitch, double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next, double crochet the next, and repeat this until you have 2 stitches remaining. So from row 30 onwards, you're only going to decrease at the neckline part, not the armhole. So when you have 2 stitches remaining, go ahead and work single crochet 2 together. Then chain 2, turn your work, and row 32 we're going to repeat row 30 pattern. So double crochet the first stitch, then double crochet 2 together, single crochet the next stitch, then double crochet the next stitch. So you're going to repeat by working a single crochet followed by a double crochet till the end of your row. So you should end with a double crochet on the last stitch. After working your last double crochet, chain 1, turn your work, repeat row 31 pattern. So single crochet the first stitch, double crochet the next stitch, single crochet and double until the end of this row 33. Sorry, until you have 3 stitches remaining, 2 stitches remaining. So when you reach the last 2 stitches, you're going to work single crochet 2 together. Chain 1, turn your work, and repeat row 32 pattern. So chain 2, double crochet the first stitch, double crochet 2 together, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and alternate a single crochet and a double crochet, ending the row with a double crochet stitch. So that's our row 34. Turn your work, chain 1 and turn your work. So what you're going to do for the next rows, you're going to repeat row 33 and 34. When you're going towards the neckline, you're working a single crochet on the first stitch, double next, single crochet, double, and then when you have 2 stitches remaining, you end it with single crochet 2 together. When you turn on the even side or even row pattern, you're going to work a double crochet on the first stitch, double crochet 2 together, single crochet, double, single, double, and repeat that. When you reach the end of your row, you're going to work a double crochet. So repeat those 2 row pattern until you have 39 rows, or until you reach row 39, and then I'll meet you on row 40. At the end of row 39, and this is how my work looks. I have 13 stitches along this edge. Then what I'm going to do next, I'm going to repeat the last 2 rows one more time. So chain 2, double crochet first stitch, double crochet 2 together, then single crochet next stitch, double next, and repeat that to the end of your row. At the end of row 40, you should have 12 stitches. Row 41, you're going to chain 1, then single crochet first stitch, double next, single next, double next, and repeat that until you have 3 stitches remaining. Double crochet 2 together, then double crochet the last stitch. So row 42, we are not going to work any decrease. Chain 2, double crochet the first stitch, single crochet the next stitch, double crochet the next, single crochet the next, and repeat this, ending your row with a double crochet. Row 43, chain 1, single crochet first stitch, double crochet next stitch, and repeat this to the end of your row, ending with a single crochet. Row 44, you're going to repeat row 42 pattern, chain 2, double crochet first stitch, single crochet next, and alternate that to the end, ending it with a double crochet stitch. Chain 1, turn. Row 45, we're going to single crochet first stitch, double crochet the next, single the next, and repeat that to the end of your row. So this is our last row on this side, ending it with a single crochet, chain 1, and cut your yarn. Then pull this through and tighten it. So this is how one side will look like. This is our armhole, and then this is our neckline. So to work on this opposite side, we're going to attach our yarn on the stitch after our marker or before our marker. It depends on how you view that stitch. So grab your yarn, chain 1, and then single crochet 2 together, double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next stitch, and repeat that to the end of your row. So when you reach the last 2 stitches, we're going to work single crochet 2 together. So on this first stitch, you can either attach it the way I did, or you attach it with a standing single crochet. So repeat that until the end of your row, and I'll meet you on the next row. So after working your last single crochet 2 together, you're going to chain 2, turn your work. On row 28, you're going to double crochet the first stitch and then double crochet 2 together. Single crochet next stitch, double crochet next stitch, single crochet, and alternate between a single crochet and a double until you have 3 stitches remaining. So I have 3 stitches remaining at the end of my row. Place double crochet 2 together and then double crochet the last stitch. Turn your work. On row 29, you're going to single crochet the first, single crochet 2 together, then double crochet the next, single crochet the next, double crochet the next, and repeat this until you have 2 stitches remaining at the end of your row. Then when you reach the last 2 stitches, you're going to work single crochet 2 together. Then row 30, you're going to chain 2, turn our work, double crochet the first stitch. So from row 30 we are only going to decrease at the neckline part, but at the armhole part we're going to work constant stitches without any decrease. So after chaining 2, double crochet the first stitch, single crochet next stitch, double crochet next stitch, single crochet next, and alternate that until you have 3 stitches remaining. So I have 3 stitches remaining at the end of my row. Work double crochet 2 together, then double crochet the last stitch, chain 1, turn your work, single crochet 2 together, double crochet next stitch, single crochet next stitch, double crochet next stitch, and alternate that until the end of your row. So your row 31 should end with a single crochet. So at the end of row 31, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. Now from row 32 to row 41, we're going to repeat row 30 and row 31 pattern, and when you reach the end of row 41, I'll meet you when you're working your last 4 rows. So I've gone ahead and finished 41 rows on this other side, and row 42 I'm going to chain 2, double crochet the first stitch. So row 42 I'm not going to work any decrease, single crochet next stitch, double crochet, single crochet, and repeat that until the end of your row, ending with a double crochet. Chain 1, turn. Row 43 you're going to start with a single crochet and then a double crochet, alternate that to the end of your row. Row 44 and 45 you're going to repeat row 42 and row 43 pattern. Now when you reach the last stitch of this row, this is our last row, you're going to chain 1, and then at the end of this row you're going to leave a long tail for joining in the shoulder seam. So your length should be roughly 10 to 15 inches, and then pull it through. So we'll use this to join our shoulder seam here. Now our front panel is complete, and this is how it looks like. So we have our waistline, and then it progresses as it grows towards the armpit area, and then we shaping the armhole and the V neckline. So for the back panel, we're going to repeat the same pattern as we did our front panel, from the bottom ribbing up until row 26, where we the last row to our neckline shaping. So I went ahead and finished 26 rows of my main body, and on the next row what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1, turn your work, single crochet 2 together on row 27, then double crochet the next stitch, single crochet the next stitch, and alternate that until you have 2 stitches remaining at the end of the row. So when you have 2 stitches at the end of your row, you're going to work single crochet 2 together and then turn to row 28 and work your next row. So I'll meet you on row 28. Chain 2, and then this row 28 you're going to place another decrease. So at the end of this row 27, if you're working a size small as mine, you should have 57 stitches on your work. So the 28th row you're going to work double crocheting the first stitch, then double crochet 2 together, single crochet the next stitch, then double in the next stitch, and alternate between a single crochet and a double crochet until you have 3 stitches remaining at the end of the row. So just continue, and when you reach your last 3 stitches, I'll show you how to decrease once more, and then you can proceed to the next row. So when you reach here at the end of your row, you're going to work double crochet 2 together in the next 2 stitches, then double crochet the last stitch. Turn your work. Row 29, you're going to work our last decrease on the sides. So chain 1, single crochet 2 together, double crochet next stitch, and go on alternating between a single crochet and a double crochet until you have 2 stitches remaining on your row. And then what you're going to do, you're going to work the last 2 stitches by single crocheting them together. So go on, and when you're through with row 29, I'll meet you on row 30. So I'm through with my row 29, and this marks the end of our armhole shaping. So row 30, we're going to chain 2 and then double crocheting the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch. So alternate between a double crochet and a single crochet until the end of your row, ending with a double crochet stitch. So just go ahead and I'll show you how to work round 31, and then from row 32 to row 41 we're going to repeat row 30 and 31. So just work your row. When you reach the end, finish it off with a double crochet without any shaping or any decrease, and then I'll meet you on row 31. So after working your last double crochet, you're going to turn your work, and row 31 you're going to chain 1, single crochet the first stitch, and double crochet the next stitch, and alternate by making a single crochet in the next and double crochet in the next until you reach the end of your row. Always ensure that your double crochets are placed on previous row single crochet stitches, and single crochets are placed on previous row double crochet stitches. So alternate those, ending with a single crochet because we started with a single crochet. Yeah, so when you're through with row 31, what you're going to do is you're going to repeat row 30 and 31 pattern until you have a total of 41 rows. Or you can place your marker here and repeat the last 2 rows 5 more times. I went ahead and proceeded with my rows, and I'm here on row 41. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shape the neckline of the back panel. To do that, you're going to mark the 16th stitch from both ends. So count 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And on that 16th stitch, you're going to place your marker. And then repeat the same for this other side. So this is how your neckline will be. So to proceed, you're going to chain 2 Then turn your work. Double crochet on the first stitch, single crochet next stitch, double crochet, single crochet, and repeat this until you have 3 stitches remaining to your marker. So when you're here, I have 3 stitches remaining, and then my marker is in the 4th stitch. So what I'll do, I'll place double crochet 2 together, then I double crochet the last stitch. Turn my work. On this row, you're going to chain 1, then single crochet 2 together, double crochet next stitch, single crochet next stitch, and alternate a double crochet and a single crochet, ending your row with a single crochet. Chain 2, turn. Row 44, we're going to repeat our row 42 pattern, double crochet first stitch, single crochet next stitch, double crochet next, single crochet next, and repeat this until you have 3 stitches remaining. So I'm here again, have 3 stitches remaining, double crochet 2 together, then double crochet the last stitch. Chain 1, turn your work, single crochet 2 together, double crochet next stitch, single crochet next, double crochet next, single crochet, and repeat this ending with a single crochet. So at the end of your row, you're going to chain 1, leave a long tail for joining the shoulder seam, then cut your yarn and pull it through. So this side is done for the back panel. For this other side, you want to grab your yarn and then attach it on this single crochet stitch after your marker. So this is our marker, we're going to attach it on this next stitch. Chain 2, then double crochet in the same stitch, double crochet 2 together the next 2 stitches, single crochet the next stitch. Remember, I'm joining my yarn, or I'm working on top of this loose end, double crochet next stitch, and repeat that to the end of your row, ending with a double crochet stitch. Chain 1, single crochet first stitch, single crochet next stitch, double crochet next stitch, single crochet and double crochet, and repeat that until you have 2 stitches remaining. And then when you reach the end of your row and you have 2 stitches remaining, you're going to work single crochet 2 together, then chain 2, turn. Row 44, you're going to start with a double crochet, then double crochet 2 together, single crochet next stitch, double crochet next stitch, and repeat this, ending your row with a double crochet stitch. Then chain 1, turn, start with a single crochet, then a double crochet, and alternate between a single and a double until you have 2 stitches remaining. I'm here, have 2 stitches remaining on my work. I'll then go ahead and work a single crochet 2 together. So at the end of my row 45, I'll chain 1 and cut my yarn. You don't need to leave a longer tail here because we left the longer tail at the last stitch on our front panel. So this is how your back panel will look like. It's complete, and this is our right side. So what you're going to do is you're going to place the right sides facing each other, and the wrong side facing you or facing outwards, and then you can now join these edges together using your markers. And the next step will now be to join the seams on the shoulder part and the side seams together. And then we turn our work on our right side, work on the sleeves, then later work on the neckline. So to join the side seams, remember we left a longer tail here at the end. You're going to grab that tail within your needle, and then just join the parts together, the bottom ribbing. So I'm going on the back loop of this first panel and then the back loop of the other panel. So in it through, you can just go ahead and weave in this tail inside your work, and you want to ensure that it's properly secured. So when you're satisfied with the joining, you're going to cut that loose tail and then proceed to joining the side seams together. So for the side seams, I'm going to grab my yarn, and then I want to measure like twice that area 3 times. And then I cut it, weave in my needle, or insert it in my needle, and then beginning, either you can start from the top part or the bottom part, either way is okay. So I'll join it on this top stitch, and I'll leave a longer tail just to fasten it off at the end. So what you're going to do here is you're going to attach the double crochet row on this side to the double crochet row on the opposite side, and the single crochet, you're going to join it to the single crochet. So just do it until you reach this bottom hem. So when you reach the end of your work, you're going to close this small gap here by going on the first row or both parts, and then you can go ahead and weave in that long tail at the end. So just weave it inside your work, go through the stitches, ensuring that it's on the wrong side. So when you're confident you've done everything, just go ahead and cut that yarn. And then for this part, you're going to just go ahead and weave it inside your work. For the sleeves, you're going to take this yarn at the end of the row, or at the end towards your armhole, and then use it to join the sides together. So the sides you can join using any stitch or any joining that you prefer. So after you've joined it all through, you can go ahead and weave in that loose tail. So what you're going to do, go ahead and weave in this other tail and any loose tail here. Go ahead and weave this one as we weaved the last remaining tail here at the end. And then what you've done on this side, you're going to repeat the same on this other side. And I'll meet you now when you're working on the sleeve part. So when you're through with joining all the side seams and the shoulder seams together, you'll need to flip it to the right side. And then once on the right side, this is how your seams will look like. It's almost invisible. So what you're going to do, you're going to proceed by joining the sleeve. To join the sleeve, I went ahead and removed my stitch marker. I'm going to attach my yarn on the 23rd row. So it's a single crochet stitch. Chain 1 and then single crochet in the same stitch, and on the next one it's a double crochet row, so you're going to place 2 single crochets. So you can either work 1 single crochet on this space between the single crochet and the double crochet, the stitch where we did our double crochet stitch. You can either go there, work 1 single crochet, and then go around the double crochet stitch and work another single crochet. Then proceed to the single crochet stitch, place 2 on the double crochet stitch. So go on that top stitch where you placed your double crochet and then go around the double crochet. Go in the single crochet row, work a single crochet on the stitch where you placed your double crochet and 1 around your double crochet. If you can't locate that stitch where you placed the double crochet stitch, just go ahead and work 2 single crochets around the double crochet stitch. So you can skip that stitch where you placed your double crochet and work 2 single crochet around the double crochet stitch. It's just the same. So repeat that until you reach the shoulder part, ending with a single crochet on that last row. So I've reached my shoulder place or the shoulder join, and the last stitch is a single crochet, so you'll work 1 single crochet. So your total number of stitches on this front side, on this back side, is going to be 34 stitches. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn to the opposite side and work 34 single crochet stitches along. So I went ahead and worked 33 single crochet stitches on this opposite side, and to work my last stitch I'm going to have a gap. After working my 34th stitch, I need to slip stitch on this first stitch, and that one will create a gap here at the arm part. So what I'm going to do, the 34th stitch or the last stitch, I'm going to insert my hook, work a single crochet, and then go on this opposite side and work single crochet 2 together, and then I slip stitch on the first stitch. So I close that gap there under the arm. So my row 1 is done, my round 1 is done. I have 68 stitches in total. For round 2 I'm going to chain 3 and then double crochet in the same stitch, then skip the next stitch, and on this next stitch I'm going to work a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, skip the next stitch, and the next stitch double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. Skip the next stitch, on the next one double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. So just repeat this pattern until the end of the round, and I'll meet you when you only have 1 stitch remaining. So skip 1 stitch, and on the next stitch work a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet all around your work. So after working your round and you here at the last stitch, you're going to skip that stitch and then slip stitch in the space between the chain 3 and the double crochet, then chain 3. So you're going to repeat our round 1 pattern, double crochet in that space, go in the next chain 1 space between the 2 double crochets. So we're going to be working on inside these V stitches, the chain 1 spaces between the 2 double crochets. So that's where we're going to place our next V stitch. So double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. Go ahead and place the same V stitch in every chain 1 space. So when you've worked your round and you've reached the last V stitch, you're going to slip stitch inside this space between the chain 3 and the first double crochet, and from round 3 onwards you're going to repeat the round 2 pattern, chain 3, double crochet, then go in the next V stitch and work a V stitch of double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, V stitch in the next, V stitch in the next, all around. When you reach the last V stitch, you're going to slip stitch in the space between the chain 3 and the first double crochet. So repeat this pattern until you achieve your desired length of your sleeve, and I'll meet you when you're now shaping the cuff. So I went ahead with my sleeve and did 41 rounds of the V stitch, and this is how it looks at this point. So to proceed to the cuff, what I'm going to do, you're going to chain 1, and then single crochet in the same space, go in the next chain 1 space between the next V and work a single crochet in the next chain 1 space and each chain 1 space until the end of your round. So we had 34 V stitches, and at the end of this round you should have 34 single crochet stitches. So at the end of your round you should join it with a slip stitch, insert your hook in that first stitch, and then instead of grabbing this color red, you're going to cut it, leaving a long tail for weaving in at the end. Then grab your mustard or the color you used for the bottom ribbing of your top. Yarn over and pull through. So you want to pull this color red. You can make a knot here just to secure it. Then just leave it. You'll weave it in at the end. Then when you've done that, you're going to chain 13. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. After chaining 13, you're going to go back and go in the second chain from your hook. So skip this first chain, and on this second chain you want to go on the back bump. So insert your hook and then make a single crochet. So yarn over, pull through both the two loops, then single crochet the next chain, working only on the back bumps, and repeat that until you reach the first chain. So at the end of this row you should have 12 single crochet stitches. So I've reached the end of my work and I have one chain remaining. Go ahead and work your last single crochet and then slip stitch the next stitch here on our base, the color red. So slip stitch in the next stitch, then slip stitch in the next stitch. So we are slip stitching on the next 2 stitches. Turn your work, skip the slip stitches, and on the first stitch on our cuff work a single crochet on the back loop only, then continue working single crochet the back loop only until you remain with the last stitch. So when you have the last stitch remaining, you want to go through both the top 2 loops, work your last single crochet, then chain 1, turn your work, single crochet the first stitch, then single crochet back loop only the next 11 stitches. When you're done with your row 3, you want to slip stitch on the next 2 stitches here on our base. So slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. Turn and repeat row 2. Skip the slip stitches, and on the first stitch on our cuff work a single crochet back loop only, then continue with a single crochet back loop only until you have 1 stitch remaining. So when you reach the last stitch, you want to go through both top 2 loops and work your last single crochet stitch, chain 1, turn and repeat row 3. So single crochet the first stitch, then single crochet back loop only the next 11 stitches. Skip 2, slip stitch the next 2 stitches and then turn and repeat row 2, skip the 2 slip stitches and then single crochet back loop only each stitch until you reach the last one. So when you reach the last one, you want to go through both 2 loops, then single crochet, chain 1 and turn your work. So what you're going to do, you're going to repeat row 5 and row 6 all around your cuff, and I'll meet you at the end of your round. So I went ahead and did 33 rows of the cuff, and I'm here at the last bit of it. So I'm remaining with only 1 stitch here. What you'll do, you'll go on that last stitch, make a slip stitch, and then go in the first stitch here where we started our chain 13, and then work your last slip stitch, then turn your work, skip the 2 slip stitches and single crochet back loop only on each of those 12 stitches, 11, and then on the 12th stitch you want to single crochet through both loops. So when you're through with your cuff rows, you can either chain 1 and work reverse single crochet all around it, or you chain 1 and cut a long tail for joining in the 2 sides together. So for this pattern, you're going to work reverse single crochet. So single crochet on this first stitch, and then go in the next stitch, work a reverse single crochet, and do that all around your cuff. So after working your last reverse single crochet, cut a long tail and then draw it through. So what you're going to do is you're going to join these 2 sides together. So grab your darning needle, and then you can either turn your work on the wrong side, but for this part, it's a very small part, I'll just do it on the right side. So insert your hook on the first stitch on both sides, and go back through the reverse single crochets to close any gap that might appear there, and then go back in the first 2 stitches and continue the next stitch. Just join them using a whip stitch all through. So when you reach this part, you can now turn your work on the wrong side and weave in this tail. So just weave it inside your work, and when you're convinced that it's completely sealed and sewn in, you can go ahead and cut your yarn. So you can go ahead and weave in all the loose tails on this other side. So what you're going to do, when you're through with one sleeve, you're going to repeat the same pattern for this other sleeve, and then when you're through, I'll meet you when you're now working the neck part. I went ahead and finished all my sleeves, and this is how my work is now looking like. So these are my sleeves. And now the remaining part for this top is to work the neckline. So to do that, you're going to turn it from the back and then locate the middle stitch here. So I have 23 stitches on my back panel, and I'll locate the middle one, so I'll leave 11, and then on the 12th one, that's where I'm going to attach my yarn. Grab your contrast color, make a slip knot, and then you can either attach it chain 1 and single crochet. So I'll show you. You can attach it chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch, then continue placing single crochet in each stitch across, or you join your yarn with a standing single crochet. So to join it with a standing single crochet, you're going to make a slip knot, and then insert your hook, go in that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's our standing single crochet. So to proceed, you're going to place 1 single crochet on each stitch until you reach the end of your back panel. So we've reached the marker here at the back panel. Insert your hook, work a single crochet. You can now remove that marker and then go at the stitch on that first row. So since it's a double crochet, you're going to work 2 single crochet, and then on the next row we have a single crochet, work 1 single crochet, and then on the double crochet you place 2 single crochet, then on the last one it's a single crochet, place 1 single crochet, and then jump to the front panel. You're starting with a single crochet, so you're going to have 1 single crochet, and then the next one is a double, place 2 single crochet, the next one you work 1 single crochet, and alternate that until you reach your marker here at the center. I've reached here, I've worked my last single crochet on that last row, and then here on our marker you're going to work 1 single crochet, remove the marker and turn on this opposite side, place 1 single crochet on the first row. So the first row is a single crochet 2 together. You want to work 1 single crochet, and then on the next row you have a double crochet, place 2 single crochet, and alternate that 1 single crochet and 2 single crochet until the end. So until you reach here at the shoulder part, your last row was a single crochet, so you're going to have only 1 single crochet around that stitch. Turn to the back and repeat the same as of this side. 1 single crochet on the first single crochet row, and then 2 single crochet on the next double crochet row, and repeat that. When you reach your marker, you're going to work 1 single crochet and then single crochet on each stitch until the last stitch to our first one. So I'll meet you here after you've worked your last single crochet stitch. I went ahead and finished my round, and I'm back here at the beginning of our round. So in total, the number of stitches you should have is 92 stitches. So we have 23 along the back from here to here, and then 6 on this back increases. Then in the front you should have 28 on this side, 28 on this other side, and then 1 here in the middle. So to proceed to our last round, You can either cut your yarn here, weave in the end and leave it at this, but I like a more neater look, so what I'll do, chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then on this next stitch you're going to work a picot stitch. So single crochet, then chain 4 and slip stitch on this chain 1. So that's our first picot. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches, then picot in the next stitch. So single crochet, chain 4, slip stitch at the base of that chain 4, so on the chain 1. So I'll repeat it just once more. Single crochet the next 3 stitches, on the next stitch you're going to work a single crochet, chain 4 and slip stitch on the chain 1, single crochet next 3, single crochet the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch, chain 1. So repeat that all around your work, and I'll meet you back when you have 1 stitch remaining. So I've went around my work and I've worked my last picot, so I'm remaining with only 1 stitch here, single crochet in that stitch, and then you can either join with a slip stitch on this first single crochet, cut your yarn and weave in the end, but for this particular one I'll work the invisible join. So cut your yarn, pull it through, grab your darning needle, insert your yarn, and then what you're going to do, you're going to go through both the 2 loops of this first single crochet stitch, and then go through the back loop of our last single crochet stitch, then pull it through. So we have that invisible join, and then go ahead and weave this tail inside your work. When you're through, go ahead and cut that loose end. So you can go ahead and weave in any loose end when you have inside your work, and our work is complete. This is how your top or our sweater looks like. I really love this picot design here along the neckline, and then the puff sleeve and the cuff, the fitted cuff. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, leave a thumbs up and click that notification bell so that you can be notified every time a video is uploaded. Also, you can leave suggestion for me on what you want me to work on in the comment section. And until next time, stay safe, God bless you, and happy crocheting.